Jessie Livermore, master of speculation. Learn from the masters. Most men lose money because they are stupid. Most men lose money because they are emotional. A rare, unlucky few lose money because they are brilliant and undisciplined. Jessie Livermore belonged to that last category. He did not merely trade markets. He dissected them. He did not gamble. He stalked. He watched human behavior, reading patterns invisible to ordinary men. He studied crowds the way a lion studies prey, waiting for weakness, waiting for the moment to strike. And yet, for all his genius, for all the millions he made, for all the brilliance of his system, he could not conquer the one market that mattered most, himself. This is not a feel-good story. This is a manual written in blood, margin calls, sleepless nights, and the unforgiving rhythm of human nature. If you are looking for inspiration, you will find it here, but it will not comfort you. If you are looking for trading advice, you will find it here, but it will demand obedience. Jessie Livermore did not achieve mastery by chance. He achieved it through observation, patience, discipline, and sometimes through devastating mistakes. This is the story of a man who became the most feared trader on Wall Street, and of the timeless lessons he left behind. Origin of a predator. Jessie Lauriston Livermore was born in 1877 in a quiet town in Massachusetts. His father wanted him to become a farmer. The boy despised it. At 14, with $5 in his pocket and a mind consumed by numbers, he ran away to Boston. He found work at a brokerage, not trading, not yet, but recording price movements on a chalkboard, tick by tick, hour by hour. And here is the first lesson most people miss. Livermore did not begin by trading. He began by watching. Patterns emerged, prices moved in rhythms, human behavior revealed itself through repetition. He memorized price movements the way a musician memorizes scales. By 15, he was trading at bucket shops, small brokerage offices where one could gamble on stock price movements without owning the actual stock. He turned $5 into hundreds, then thousands. He was banned from shop after shop for winning too consistently. He observed, he noted, he adapted. Every time a stock broke through a certain resistance, he anticipated the herd's reaction. By 20, he was already dangerous. By 30, he was infamous. They called him the boy plunger. But genius does not protect you from excess. Early success plants the seeds of later catastrophe. Even in his earliest trades, the seeds of his downfall were present. Overconfidence, impulsiveness, and the thrill of being right. The first great rule: the market is never wrong. Livermore's core insight was brutally simple. The market is never wrong. Opinions often are. Most traders lose because they argue with reality. They believe instead of observe. They argue with charts, with trends, with logic, when the truth is indifferent. Livermore did not predict markets. He confirmed them. He waited for trends to establish themselves. He entered late and he exited later. Being early is indistinguishable from being wrong. You are not paid for foresight. You are paid for alignment. In 1907, during a major panic, while ordinary traders were panicking, Livermore waited. He watched as the crowd sold indiscriminately, ignoring logic, ignoring fundamentals. Only when the trend confirmed itself did he act. That single trade brought him more than most men earned in a lifetime. This principle applies far beyond the stock market. Life itself operates on the same rules. The world does not negotiate. It does not explain itself. It simply moves forward relentlessly. Your job is not to impose will. Your job is to submit strategically. Waiting, the lost art. Jessie Livermore made his greatest fortunes by doing almost nothing. He waited weeks, months, sometimes years, and when the conditions aligned, he acted with terrifying precision and size. Money is made by sitting, not trading. Modern traders cannot tolerate this truth. They confuse activity with progress. They confuse motion with mastery. Patience for Livermore was not passive. It was predatory. It was a choice to endure discomfort for the payoff that few could imagine. In one famous trade, he observed a railroad stock for months. The price oscillated within tight ranges. The temptation to act, to do something, was constant, but he held. And when the trend finally confirmed itself, he entered and walked away with a fortune others had only dreamed of. Waiting is more than a strategy. It is a test of character. In markets, in war, in life, the decisive strike belongs to the man who can endure stillness without flinching. Cut losses without mercy. Here is where Livermore becomes unforgiving. The most important rule of trading is to play great defense. Losses are not shameful. Refusing to accept them is. Livermore exited losing trades immediately. No hope, no prayer, no rationalization. Hope is not a strategy, it is a sedative. Every great trader knows this truth, but few live by it. Small losses are tuition, large losses are ego, and this principle extends far beyond markets. Bad relationships, bad habits, bad ventures. If it is bleeding, cut it off. Mercy toward weakness is cruelty toward your future. In one story, he bought a stock expecting a surge. Within hours, it began to fall. Ordinary men clung to hope. Livermore sold instantly, taking a modest loss. He called it tuition, a cost for experience, and he would never repeat the same mistake. Let winners run. The courage to hold, ironically, the same men who refuse to cut losses also refuse to hold winners. They take profits too early, fearing success is fragile. Livermore did the opposite. When right, he pressed. When wrong, he vanished. In 1929, during the infamous Wall Street crash, he shorted the market. Brokers panicked, families feared ruin, and yet he held. His positions survived the chaos and yielded a fortune equivalent to hundreds of millions today. It was never my thinking that made the big money. It was my sitting. Power compounds when you stop interfering. This principle applies not only to wealth but also to influence, physical mastery, and life itself. Men sabotage success because they cannot tolerate its tension. Human nature never changes. Livermore's true edge was psychological. Markets are crowds made visible. Fear, greed, euphoria, panic. The charts are merely the nervous system of the herd. Technology changes, instruments evolve, but human nature remains primitive. The crowd buys tops, sells bottoms, and seeks certainty where none exists. The trader who survives does not join the crowd. He waits, observes, and exploits the predictable irrationality of masses. He understood panic and greed not just as mechanics of markets, but as laws of life itself. Centuries may pass, tools may evolve, but human behavior does not. That is why Livermore's lessons remain deadly accurate, even today. The fatal flaw, Livermore versus Livermore, and now the uncomfortable truth. Jessie Livermore went bankrupt multiple times. Not because his system failed, but because he violated it. Overconfidence, excess, personal chaos, speculation when he should have waited, sizing up when he should have restrained. His mind mastered markets, but his temperament betrayed him. This is the final lesson. No system can save a man who cannot govern himself. Skill creates opportunity. Character determines survival. Wealth is transient. Mastery over oneself endures. Closing, the Livermore Doctrine. Jessie Livermore died by his own hand in 1940. Do not romanticize this. Understand it. He gave us a map, but failed to follow it to the end. And yet, his lessons endure because they are not about markets. They are about power under uncertainty. Wait longer than others can tolerate. Cut faster than others dare. Hold when others tremble. And above all, do not confuse intelligence with discipline. Because the market, like life, does not reward brilliance. It rewards obedience to reality. Internalize this. Walk through chaos as he taught, and you will learn not only how to survive markets, but how to thrive in a world ruled by fear, greed, and uncertainty.